So here is little Yardball enjoying his feast of a meal. And anyway, I'm going to be talking about tap and play. Ooh, tap and play. I'm just going to be talking about tolerances on knives and when they matter and when they don't. Because I feel like a lot of people get this image in their head that a knife, a balisong, is not supposed to have any tap or any play at all ever. And I'm just going to explain why people think that, and then I'm going to explain why it's okay in some instances or when it's okay. I feel like I've done this before, but I also feel like anyone who comes across my channel just starts watching me do my daily uploads and just forgets about my other content. So today, let me explain. So to start off, people believe that like no tap is just good and no play is good because on balisongs that have live blades, it's a good way to check tolerances to see whether you're going to have blade rub or not. I mean, tap is one indicator, but the main issue with tap and play, like that can actually hurt the knife, is pretty much blade rub. It's where the blade goes inside of the handle, right? But it's off to the wall, and it ends up cutting the inside of the handle and dulling the actual knife, or it's ruining the finish on the blade. So just basically the contact with inside of handles is the whole issue with tap and play. So they both, just by hearing tap, you know you have blade rub, and by seeing the play, you know how far off basically the blade is from touching the inside of the handles. So that's why people always show their tolerances, just to be like, look how great at tuning I am. But when it comes to trainer specifically, as you can see on a trainer, it's dull on both sides, and the finish and the blade steel is usually not the highest grade or highest process. So it's actually okay for a trainer to have tap. Whoa, oh my gosh, can you believe it? Can you believe he's saying that? Oh my gosh, a trainer can have tap? It sure can, because if it does have tap or play, guess what, guys? It doesn't mean that this blade is going to become any duller. It doesn't mean that it's going to become any worse. Not more than you drop it. But anyway, when it comes to a live blade, though, yes, keeping good tolerances is always a great practice, because you don't want that knife to get dull and you don't want it to get more ruined. You want to maintain it as long as possible. But another thing that I wanted to mention is the fact that if you do have any blade, a live or a trainer, that your knife will, I'm talking without a doubt, 100% yes, it will eventually get tap and play. Because even if it's got washer, bearing, and bushing, which I don't even know if that's possible, correct me if I'm wrong, but even if it had all of that stuff and it's tightened all the way down and somehow still has perfect swing, it will last a while, yes, without play or tap, because that's kind of ridiculous. But over time, metal wears. All this flipping that we're doing constantly, I mean, these things were only designed to do this, you know? That's it. But we do this. And, you know, all of that rubbing and wearing, I mean, whoops. We do that hours at a time, and the metal will wear down eventually. It doesn't happen overnight, obviously. But yeah, dropping it kind of like dents the inside, speeds up the process. And, you know, flipping is obviously just going to kind of do the same damage over time anyway. And eventually, you'll start hearing that beloved sound. And that's okay as long as you have a trainer. But if you have a live blade, then my advice to fix it, if it doesn't work by just tuning it, it's called getting new hardware. Yes, unfortunately, that's the process, because the metal inside is so worn, like the washer or the bushing or the bearing. So, yeah, that's what ends up happening, is eventually it wears to the point where you actually need new hardware. So yeah. Anyway, that's today's thing on Tap and Play, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Yeet.